It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to the Science Bowl. 2 outstanding elementary schools here today to play our game, one of whom will vie with Bond Mill Elementary School for a chance to become the third of the final 4 in this year's elementary competition. Let's meet today's teams. First from Magnolia Elementary, would you say hello to Obina Ufamadu, Bilal Mahadine, and Elan Reed. And from Northview Elementary, our players, Miles Clark, Taylor Hall, and Ayomide Adowu. And now here are the categories of questions we use on the Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's science potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
Here on the Science Bowl, we arrange our game board according to the difficulty of the question, with the easier questions on the left. They're worth 5 and 10. Tougher ones are worth 15, 20, ultimately 25 is the toughest question of them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points. No penalties ever for incorrect answers. End of the 2 rounds, we will have a competitor for Bond Mill. Let's go over and make sure everything works properly. Let's go to the red team. Bilal, would you try that buzzer for me? Thank you. Good luck to you, to Obina, and to Elan. And Northview, Taylor, would you try yours? The green team's looks and sounds good. Good luck to you, Taylor, and to Ayomide and Miles. Are we ready? Yeah. Let's do this thing. Let's have a great game. May the better team win. And you're all great players here. We go alphabetically M before N. So Magnolia, Bilal, let's play the bowl.
Body systems for 20.
Body systems for 20 points is a multiple choice question. Teams, there's a cartoon showing a waiter looking down at a man choking, and the waiter says, "Sir, you would not choke if you remembered to close your sphincter, your uvula, or your epiglottis." What should you close to keep yourself from choking, Bilal?
Uvula.
The uvula? No, that's an interesting word to say, too. Is it the sphincter, the uvula, or the epiglottis that would keep you from choking, Taylor?
Sphincter.
The one neither of you chose, the epiglottis. It's the little flap of skin on the top there that keeps the food from going down into your windpipe. All right, go red. Bilal?
Let's get physical for 15.
Get physical for 15 points. Teams, mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest one of all? The mirror will always tell the truth, because a mirror does not refract. It does this.
Reflect.
Magnolia?
Reflect.
It reflects, yes, a nice reflection on you. All right, Magnolia, you're on the board. Bilal?
Dateline Science for 25.
Dateline Science for 25 points. Big one in that category, teams. This famous French scientist who came up with a vaccine for anthrax and rabies was also known to have brewed beer quite well. Who was this famous French scientist who did all those things? Come on, Magnolia.
Louis Pasteur. I would like Pasteur.
Obina.
Pasteur.
Louis Pasteur. Absolutely right, Obina. You nailed it. 25 points. Nice job. Red, go.
Dateline Science for 20.
Dateline Science for 20 points. Multiple choice question. Teams, which of the following famous African Americans developed blood banks? Oh, Bilal.
Charles Drew.
You don't even need my choices. Charles Drew is he, indeed. Elan just about jumped out of his chair over there. Nice job. All right, go. Red.
Dateline Science for 15.
Dateline Science for 15 points. Teams, back in 1989, a scientist claimed to have performed cold fusion at room temperature, promising free energy for everyone for the rest of their lives. He had to retract his statement because no other scientist could do what with his experiment? Magnolia.
I would like to know.
He had to retract it. Why, Obina? No other scientist could do what?
Complete his experiment.
Not complete it. Northview, that scientist who claimed he had developed cold fusion at room temperature promising limitless energy, had to retract his statement when no other scientist could do what with his experiment?
Could prove him correct.
No, that could replicate it. See, in science, you have to be able to replicate it. If you can't do that, then it was a one-shot wonder, and maybe there was something wrong there. Try again, Red.
Soup parade for 25.
Soup parade for 25. Big one in that category is a visual question. Look at the monitor, please, in the studio. This koala bear is albino. It has no pigmentation. But like all albinos, its eyes are pink. The iris of the eye is not colored as it is in our eyes. So what's causing the pink color? For 25 points, why are the eyes pink? Come on, Northview, talk among yourselves in case I have to come to you. Magnolia, tell me.
It probably.
No? Okay. Northview, can you give me a reason why those eyes are pink?
I'd like to pass it to Miles.
Miles, what do you think?
Because the albino affects the eye.
Not really. What you're looking at are the blood vessels in the eye because there's no colored pigment to cover up the blood vessels in the capillaries. Tough question. Go again, Red.
Soup parade for 20.
Soup parade for 20 points is another visual question. Look back to the monitor if you would. This long, slimy creature here, it looks like a lizard. It's called a hellbender. It is the largest salamander in North America, which means it is not a reptile, but a member, Magnolia.
Amphibian?
Yes, it is the largest amphibian in North America. Good. Red.
Green things for 25.
Green things for 25. Big one in that category, teams. The coconut is the world's biggest seed. Sometimes it will float in the ocean for months before landing on an island where it can possibly germinate. Living inside that seed that entire time is what tiny E initialed living part of that seed, Northview.
Embryo?
Yes, ma'am. Embryo. 25 points. Green. Good. Go.
Green things for 10.
Green things for 10 points. Teams, your question is as follows. We know that trees have a single trunk, but plants like roses don't grow on trees. They grow on these that have multiple stems coming from the ground. Magnolia.
Bush?
A bush, yes, a rose bush, absolutely. We also would have accepted shrub as an answer. Nice assist there, Elon. All right, the buzzer's rung. That means the first round is over. Let's check that score right now. Northview 75, Magnolia 140. We'll be back with round 2 in just one moment. Don't go away.
I wanted to start a business that I was passionate about, something I absolutely enjoyed and believed in.
I was doing the corporate grinds, and I kind of wanted to do something a little more green. My name's Steve Allen. I run Rad Cab in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We do pedicabs and mobile outdoor advertising. I love being social, talking to people.
A lot of confusing stuff when you start a business. When I go in and talk to my store mentor, he really helps me sort it all out, and we just get organized. And when I go home, I feel confident about what's going on. It really feels amazing to create jobs here in my city.
It's incredibly awesome. I love to show it off.
If you get a solid foundation for your business laid, everything else falls in place. SCORE has absolutely been the most invaluable resource that I've had from day one.
For free?
I could not imagine doing anything else.
Get your free business mentor at score.org.
And welcome back to the Science Bowl. Thank you for spending part of your day with us. We've made a score adjustment. The question about the replicability of an experiment, the green team said to prove it, and the judges have decided that is close enough, so we've added 15 points to your score. So right now it's Northview 90, Magnolia 140. Let's find out a little bit about our players today. If you've not been here throughout the season, you've missed the Magnolia team. This is their third appearance. Bilal, nice to have you back.
Hi.
Tell us about Magnolia. Where is it?
It's in Greenbelt.
It's in Greenbelt. And who's your principal?
Miss Phyllis Gillens.
And out there rooting for you. And Mr. Allen is your sponsor, has been a sponsor for many years. He's just a great guy, and he takes a lot of pride in these teams here. And we're very happy he's involved with Science Bowl. Any alternates on your team?
Yes, Abdullah, Flavine, Justice, and Arib.
Wow, so you got a shadow team +1 down there. We'll bring them up in just a few moments because alternates are a real integral part of these teams here. And I know you asked you before, and I'm going to ask you again what it is about Magnolia that you really like to brag about.
We have the best teachers, and there's a lot of nice teachers, and they teach really good, and they make it fun for us.
Wow. Fun and nice and caring teachers. Boy, you're lucky. Best teachers in the county, huh? All right. What do you want to do someday?
I want to be a brain surgeon.
Brain surgeon. How'd you get interested in that?
Because I want to know how the brain functions, and I want to save people's lives.
Yeah, boy, that's a very noble thing. You want to make your life count. And the brain, as long as we still can't figure out how everything is encoded. We're getting closer, but it's a great place for research. Good luck to you, Bilal.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Elan, nice to have you here today. You've come up with so many answers. How do you know so much science?
Well, I normally watch videos, and I sometimes read through books about science.
Yeah. Obviously, you keep up on the news, and you've got a nice inquisitive mind, and you're curious about things, and that really helps you out, not just on Science Bowl, but in life, too. And what do you want to do when you get older?
I want to become a video game designer or an engineer.
Or an engineer. I can see you doing that. You're a very methodical young man, and I know you play video games, don't you? So
yeah.
you're getting a sense of what you might like to do someday. Nice to have you back. Obina, nice to have you here. You've come up with a couple good clutch answers. How'd you know about Louis Pasteur?
Because I remember when I was studying with Elan and Bilal, and then Mr. Allen was asking us some questions, and then he said this famous scientist that cured the boy from rabies and also learned how to pasteurize milk, and then that's how I knew that it was Louis Pasteur, because you said rabies.
Absolutely. Wow. See, and you were listening for those clues, and boy, you played that really well. Tell me what you want to do someday.
I want to become an inventor.
Yeah. What kinds of things are you thinking about? What would you like? What don't we have now that you'd like us to have?
Flying cars.
Oh boy, yeah. Wouldn't that be great? Especially if they flew themselves, so we wouldn't have accidents. You know, they would kind of avoid collisions, like with drones out there. Well, good luck to you. Nice to have you back. Northview, nice to have you guys here in your signature lab coats. Northview every year. Mr. Moffat and Ms. Grove always send you here looking just great. And do you feel the part? Do you feel like scientists today? Yeah, you should. They really look good over there. Northview is in Bowie, relatively new school. And who's your principal, Taylor?
Mr. Simmons.
And out there rooting for you. And Mr. Moffat and Ms. Grove, wonderful sponsors, always send us great students here. And we appreciate all they do. And Northview, did you have any alternates on your team?
Jade, Titus, and Kelvin.
Wonderful. We'll bring them out with our two sponsors in a few moments. Northview, lots of great things happening there. What do you like about the school, Taylor? What do you like?
It's a very welcome environment, and the teachers go to your pace. So if you're not understanding one of the questions, they'll take time off to work with you. And they actually care about your education. They really want you to succeed, so they take time off of their work so they can help you.
Well, that's a really important observation, pace, because not everybody learns at the same pace. So if you're lagging behind and you start to get anxious and nervous, it's good to have a teacher who recognizes that and slows things down and make sure that you're up to speed there. Thanks for mentioning that, Taylor. What do you want to do someday?
I want to be a neurotic physicist.
You want to be a physicist. And what was the first word?
Neurotic.
Neurotic, okay. In physics, of course, there's a lot of math and science combined, so you got a lot of school in front of you yet. What do you do in your spare time?
I like to read and cook.
Yeah, we were talking about that. You really like to cook, don't you? You make all kinds of things, so we're going to come to your house sometime for dinner, Taylor. Ayamidi, nice to have you here today. You've come up with a couple good answers. How do you know so much science? You're good.
Well, my mom has helped me with my science. I was really little, so I remember a lot of things. And at school, they have great teachers that teach us things about science, like Ms. Grove and Mr. Moffat. And so I just thank them and my mom for helping me out.
Wow, that's great, because our moms are really our best teachers, aren't they? And you've picked up a lot of good things. And what do you see yourself doing someday?
I want to be a biologist when I grow up.
Yeah, so science. I got a couple scientists up there, a physicist, a biologist. And Miles, you want to be a zoologist, right? This young man has a little menagerie at home. What kind of animals you got?
I have an animal. I have a dog, and I have a fish, a goldfish.
And a goldfish. And you used to have a hermit crab, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they don't live too long, so don't feel bad about that. And I don't know if you can see it from where you're sitting, but Miles has on a really nice science tie that you got at the Maryland Science Center. What's it say on there? What's on there?
It's a picture of Albert Einstein and some of his equations.
Yeah, boy, that was the perfect thing to wear here today. Miles, thanks for doing that and for being on the show. Let's get back to the game. 90 for Northview, 140 for Magnolia. Lots of points to give away. Last correct answer came from the red team. So, Bilal, start us out.
Science potpourri for 20.
Science potpourri for 20 points. Teams, the dietary hazard from eating salt comes from the sodium part of the salt molecule and not the other part. What is the other part of the salt molecule that is not nearly as threatening?
The mineral part?
Not the mineral part. It's not the sodium part of the salt molecule. It is the sodium part of the salt molecule and not what other part that is the dietary risk.
Chloride?
Chloride or chlorine. That's right. NaCl, sodium chloride. Go. Good. Nicely done, Taylor. Green.
Zuparade for 15.
Zuparade for 15 points. Teams, there was a commercial for Doritos where two students were trying to purposely miss the spelling bee words because they wanted to win the Doritos second prize and not the scholarship for the first prize. I hadn't even asked the question. What do you want to tell me?
F.
F? No, that was a good try because they did ask them to spell photosynthesis. The question is that one of the words they were asked to spell was entomology, Northview. They spelled it with an N. I'll give you 15 points if you can spell entomology correctly, or tell me what it is.
Entomology is the study of bugs and insects.
You got that right. E-N-T-O-M-O-L-O-G-Y. Thanks, Ayamide. Didn't have to put you through that. Good. 15 points. 125 to 140. Go, Taylor.
Body systems for 15.
Body systems for 15 points. Interesting question, teams. What popular soft drink takes its name from one of the chemicals in the gastric juice that helps you to digest your food, because this popular soft drink at one time was thought to help your digestion? Magnolia.
Ginger ale?
Not ginger ale. Good try. Not ginger ale. Popular soft drink takes its name from one of the chemicals in gastric juice that help you digest your food.
Coke.
Good try. Pepsi. Pepsin is the name of the enzyme with hydrochloric acid that makes up your gastric juice. Try again. Green.
Let's get physical for 10.
Let's get physical for 10 points. Teams, this force, this great force, is a kind of centripetal force because it pulls everything to the center. Magnolia.
Gravity.
Gravity is right. Go red.
Let's get physical for 20.
Let's get physical for 20 points. Teams, Pluto used to be the last rocky planet in the solar system. Now that Pluto is gone, if you start from the sun, which of the planets is the last one that is rocky? Magnolia.
Mars.
Mars, good. Yeah, the rest are gas giants. Thank you guys for helping them out. Go red. 170, 177 to 125.
Let's get green things for 20.
Green things for 20 points. Teams, your question is as follows. You're doing a science fair experiment. Conceivable. You're trying to find out if red, blue, or green light is best for plants to photosynthesize. The color that will always be the worst of those three, because it doesn't let the plants photosynthesize, is this color, Magnolia.
Green.
Yes, the green is reflected. That's why it appears green. The red and the blue are absorbed. Good thinking. Go red.
Let's get physical for 25.
Let's get physical for 25. Big one in that category. Teams, Jules Verne wrote a book called From the Earth to the Moon, in which he proposed, talk about inventions, Obina, a giant solar panel that would power a spacecraft through the solar system. It ran on what P-initialed little packets of light that come from the sun. What are those little P-initialed packets of light called for 25 points, Magnolia?
Prism?
Not prism. Good try. Do you know the P-initialed name of those tiny packets of light, Northview?
Photons.
Photons. That's what I want to hear. Ayamide, give yourself a high five. Nice job. Go green.
Zuparade for 10.
Zuparade for 10 points. Teams, In the restaurant, lobsters and clams and crabs and oysters are listed as shellfish. They're not fish. Why not? Why not, Northview?
I pass it to Alameda.
Why are those things I just mentioned not fish?
Because they have shells and they're crustaceans because they have like hard backs and they don't have any fins.
Yes, absolutely. They don't look like fish and they don't have backbones. They have shells. Absolutely right. Good. Green.
Body systems for 25.
Body systems for 25 points. Big one in that category. Team, some doctors will recommend to their heart patients that they take an aspirin every day because it will make these P-initialed components of the blood that clot.
Platelets.
Platelets. That's what I want to hear, Magnolia. Yes, indeed. You're back in the game. Go red.
Science potpourri for 25.
Potpourri for 25. Big one in that category, teams. Tough question. Scientists recently made a 3D diagram of a human skull using pictures taken with an MRI. The I in MRI stands for image. What do the M and the R stand for? MRI, blank, blank, image. What you want to tell me, Magnolia?
Magnetic.
Elan, what do you want to tell me?
Radio.
Not quite, not quite. Very close, Northview, MR in MRI. The I stands for image. What does MR stand for?
Medical radiation.
Good try. Magnetic resonance. The R was the tough one. Go red. Magnolia, still ahead.
Green things for 15.
Green things for 15 points. Teams, sounding like Uber, the taxi service in cities, potatoes that are underground stems are known as these. Magnolia.
Roots.
Sounding like Uber, Northview, potatoes, which are underground stems, are known as these.
Like pass it to
Alameda.
Lubers or tubers?
Give me your answer.
Tubers?
Tubers, that's what I want to hear. Yes, indeed. Go green.
Body systems for 10.
Body systems for 10 points. Teams, you've probably heard a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. That's because most medicine, especially pills, are not sweet. They are this taste.
Sour.
Northview? Nope, not sour. Magnolia, they are what taste?
Plain.
Bitter. A bitter pill to swallow. Green. Go.
Science potpourri for 15.
Potpourri for 15 points. Teams, sometimes when scientists do experiments, their hypothesis doesn't work out. So they then start to delve into these D-initialed results to see if there's something they can publish, Magnolia.
Data.
Data, that's right. They go data dredging or data diving. All right, Bilal.
Daylight science for 10.
Dateline Science for 10 points, teams. It was way back in 1917 that this famous scientist who came up with the theory of relativity came up with the idea of a laser. Magnolia, who was that famous scientist?
Albert Einstein.
That would be he. Absolutely. Listen to Elan. He knows his stuff. Go, red.
Science potpourri for 10.
Science potpourri for 10 points, teams. In India right now, all the rage is bariatric surgery. A lot of people are getting this organ bypassed or stapled. Magnolia.
Stomach.
Stomach, absolutely. To lose weight. Go red.
Dateline science for 5.
Dateline Science for 5 points, team. Recently, an asteroid came real close to Earth, and scientists were amazed because they looked and said, what? There was a little tiny lunar body going around it, known as one of these. Magnolia.
Comet.
Not a comet. Northview.
Satellite.
More specifically.
Natural satellite.
A natural satellite. All right, a moon. We'll take that. Go green.
Let's get physical for 5.
Let's get physical for 5 points. Teams, your question is as follows. Jupiter, Uranus, and Neptune have some of these, but Saturn is the Lord
of the rings.
Of the rings. That's it. Go green.
Science potpourri for 5.
Science potpourri for 5 points. Teams, last month we as a country celebrated this insulator that is so much fun to pop. Northview.
Bubble wrap.
Bubble wrap is right. Yep, go.
Body systems for 5.
Body systems for 5 points. Team Senator Harry Reid recently broke 4 of these bones, one of whom, according to the Bible, Adam gave to Eve. Magnolia?
Apple? Adam's?
No. Body systems is the category. Adam gave one of these to Eve. Senator Reid recently broke 4 of these bones.
Ribs.
A rib, that's right, good. We have 2 questions left. Which one, Northview?
Zoo parade for 5.
Zoo parade for 5 points. Teams, the opposite of a fish out of water would be Sandy Cheeks, who is one of these nut-eating rodents on SpongeBob.
Squirrel.
Magnolia.
Squirrel.
A squirrel is right. And the buzzer says, our game is over. Our final tally, it looks like Magnolia has done it. We'll be back with the wrap-up in just a moment. Don't go away.
Going to school pregnant, riding the bus, that was hard. You just have all the stares and you have all the questions, and even little kids make you nervous just staring at you. When you get pregnant, all the stuff just goes through your mind. Abortion, adoption, keeping him. You're his mom. You're supposed to be the one taking care of him and raising him. But when you're 15 and pregnant, you can't do it without support. I wanted to give him a better life. When I found out I was pregnant, I don't know, just a light hit me in my heart, just saying adoption is what you need to do. I really have a simple dream. I just want to get my nursing career, get married, and have a family. When I get pregnant again, give them a better life. I'm Miranda, and I chose adoption.
What a game today. The lead kept going back and forth. No one ever gave up. What wonderful students we have here today. We are proud of each and every one of them. They are all winners. Our final tally today, Northview 195, Magnolia 255. Magnolia, we're going to see you against Bond Mill. You could be one of the final 4. Obina and Bilal and Elan. Let's see some smiles over there. You guys did win. Their principal is here today, Miss Gillens. Their wonderful sponsor, Mr. Allen, looking sartorially wonderful as always. And over there, the alternates wave everybody. Justice, Arib, Abdullah, and Flavine. What a team you are. And the guys in the white coats, let's see some smiles over there too. Miles, you were terrific today. Taylor, loved having you here. And Ayamidi, you are the man. You are the man. You did it today for everybody. And look at all the alternates over there. We've got Jade and Kelvin and Titus, Mr. Moffat, Mr. Simmons, their wonderful principals here, and the wonderful Mrs. Grove. We couldn't do this without you guys. Thank you for being here. We enjoyed having you, and we had enjoyed having you as well. We'll see you next time on another edition of Science Bowl. Bye-bye.